This is Andi Purewal of Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We are in London and I am joined by Adam Moralee. Adam, firstly, how are you?
I'm all right, mate, thanks. Been a difficult few 48 hours dealing with fight stuff, but it's all good, all good.
Obviously, we've caught up off camera over the last few weeks, kind of waiting to see what was happening around Joyce Parker. That's no longer happening, we'll come on to that. Instead, we've got Joyce Hammer. Talk to me about, firstly, how Christian Hammer came into the equation.
So originally we were going to fight Joe Parker July 2nd, then we got the late call that Joe wanted it moved because his trainer's wife was pregnant. He then said September 24th, so we wanted an opponent for July 2nd. There would be a good lead-in for Joe for Parker. So someone robust, good, international level, as people used to say when you were matchmaking, a Christian Hammer type opponent. So we got Christian Hammer.
Joe will still be a big favourite heading into this fight. Christian Hammer's back towards the back end of his career now, suffered a few stoppage losses. Obviously Huey Fury stopped him in 5. For yourself, for Joe, what is he actually hoping to gain out of this fight ahead of a bout out in September?
Look, I think this is one of those situations where you've almost got everything to lose, and something I've been talking to Joe a lot about the last few days is being really switched on for this, being really switched on and ready for this fight, because if he overlooks him, Christian Hammer's an international level opponent. Look at his CV, Povetkin's on it, Fury's on it, he's not been stopped by many people. Yeah, he's at the back end of his career, but Joe's got to take this fight very, very seriously. I mean, Christian Hammer's right behind me now, he's absolutely massive, and he's a international name.
I mean, you just say that, he's just walked past that way and walked back, so I'm sure people will see on camera just how big of a guy Christian Hammer is. How important do you feel it will be for Joe, though, to go a few rounds ahead of a big fight in September?
It's all about Joe getting back with Salas. This is the first fight he's had Salas in his corner for 4 years. Salas did half the camp for Dubois, and then unfortunately got COVID, so he wasn't in the corner for Dubois. But Joe and Salas have been working on things in camp, and as you know, when you go back with a new trainer, it probably takes 2, 3, 4 fights. So this is the first new fight under Salas. I'm really excited to see what they're going to work on.
I was going to say, how has Joe kind of found it back out in Vegas training with Ishmael? They had a previous relationship before COVID, working together, now linking back up again. Has it been different? Has he struggled, or has he just kind of picked back up from where they were when they previously worked together?
I think when he wasn't with Salas, there were a few things Salas wanted to work on. I think he was with Stevie Broughton, who's still part of the team, a fantastic trainer. But now he's back with Salas, yeah, it's beautiful. The two of them have a very, very special relationship, and Joe will be at his peak with Salas, I think, in 2 or 3 fights' time.
Now, Adam, Joe Parker, the fight we all expected to see was him and Joe Joyce. It seems to be all agreed, not rubber stamped though. What happened on your end and your understanding, rather, as to why that fight will not be going ahead?
I mean, it was all agreed. It was all agreed in every single way, apart from the signature. And at the last minute, Joe went to another promoter. But I mean, Joe Joyce has been really hard to matchmake his whole career. But right now he has something. He has the WBO number 1 status. He's WBC number 2. People want to fight him and take that from him. But Joe Parker's got to come to Joe Joyce for that. But he's gone away on Sky. The contract's there. Frank spoke to him yesterday. The contract's there. Joe, if you're listening, just sign the contract. Sign the contract, come fight Joe Joyce on BT.
We saw Ben Shalom's comments that he's made a public 1.2 million offer to try and make that fight on Sky Sports pay-per-view. Whether that's a fee which you're happy with or not, is it possible Joe crosses over to Sky Sports?
I think the only way that's possible is if there's a purse bid for a Joe Parker-Joe Joyce fight at some point, and Sky Sports win the purse bid. Right now, Joe's a star of BT Sport. He's in adverts for them. They love him. He's not just going to jump networks.
How frustrating was that situation for Joe, Adam, to see the fight fall through because of Joe Parker going off to sign with Sky?
Incredibly frustrating. Joe's a brilliant guy to manage. He lets me get on with it, but he's very intelligent and wants to be kept updated. I kept him updated the whole time, and then, when it fell through, it's hard to know what to say. They were talking to another person while they were talking to us.
How confident are you that fight happens soon?
I think it happens, yeah. I don't think it happens next, if I'm honest, but I think it does happen. And when it happens, I think it'll be big, and it could be for a world title.
Final one, Adam, very quickly, because we're about to start. What's Joe's situation with the British title? There's a lot of fighters waiting to challenge for that. Has he got any plans to vacate that, or...?
Look, I think, I haven't spoken to Joe about that, but I think he's moved on from that level, so I think it's probably appropriate.
Perfect. Thank you, Adam.
Cheers, mate.